Hey guys, this is the Sports Hub. I'm Connor O'Gara. Hope you enjoyed your break. Hope you enjoyed some holiday basketball. I know I certainly enjoyed my break. Definitely enjoyed getting out and watching some holiday basketball. A lot of good things happening in the Hub territory. There are 4 teams that are still unbeaten heading into the second part of the schedule here into January. We're going to talk about each one of those teams. We have a Sports Hub Call of the Week, but as usual, we're going to talk 3 stars about 3 kids that had really good holiday tournaments. And the first one, we're going to talk Skylar Snyder, the Kearney High forward, junior forward, had a really good showing in that championship game, GNAC championship game. Bearcats get a 47-34 win. Snyder leads the way with 19 points. She averaged 16 points in the tournament. Bearcats only allowed 25 points a game in that GNAC title. They didn't get a GNAC title last year, and this is something I know Jason Boyd made it a big priority to get that title this year. Snyder did so much of that damage defensively too. She's obviously really heralded for what she's able to do offensively off the dribble, but the damage that she's able to create, or the damage that she's able to do in the passing lanes is really kind of what separates her, I think. And just a big win for the Bearcats, and kind of, you know, stemming the tide from a little bit of a slow start. The second star, Braden Eckout. This is a kid we talked about all football season, of course. Superstar athlete from Amherst. He had 36 points in a loss against St. Pat's. St. Pat's is the #2 team in C2, so yeah, a little bit of a tough game for Amherst. That was Amherst's first loss of the season, an 11-point game, but certainly wasn't because of Eckout. He had 8 threes in that one, a kid that can absolutely fill it up. Just such a great athlete, and when he's able to play like that, I mean, usually he can lead a team to victory by doing that alone, but St. Pat's just a superior talent. Definitely good things ahead for Eckout and Amherst. Third star we're going to look at, Braden Snell of Gibbon. This is a kid that we also talked about during the football season a lot. A guy that just flat out makes plays, and that's exactly what he did. Got a big victory against Donovan Trumbull in the Elm Creek Holiday Tournament. He had 29 points. It was actually Gareth Stroh that hit the game-winning bucket in overtime to clinch that one. This is a dangerous team with that duo. That duo in the LPC could really do some damage, I think, down the stretch. That's a team that, yeah, not many teams are going to want to face just with the way that they're able to score. Obviously, they lose Riley Reinertson, and you know, you're looking for other options on Gibbon, but those 2 guys, very capable options for the Buffaloes moving forward. There's 4 unbeaten teams left in the Hub territory. There's 1 unbeaten team left in the Hub territory on the boys' side, and that's Wilcox-Hildreth. As of the filming of this, which is Friday, Wilcox-Hildreth boys off to an 8-0 start, and they've been doing it with their defense. They've only allowed 32 points per game this year. Just picked up a really nice victory in the Kennesaw Holiday Tournament. That's not an easy tournament, playing D1 teams. And really, Falcons have showed that they could play against those D1 teams. Doesn't matter if they're bigger, more athletic teams. They just have been able to hold teams defensively with all that length that they have. I've already talked about Tristan Farley and the job that he's able to do defensively, but this is a team that just is really well balanced right now. All 5 starters averaging between 6.5 and 11 points a game. Just a good ball movement all around. Brett Heinrichs has got to be happy with the job that his team has done in the early part of this season. It's going to be interesting to see if they can keep moving forward with this undefeated start. Obviously, really tough to do that in the way that the FKC is shaping up this year, but I'm interested to see if the Falcons can really make this thing last a little bit longer. On the girls' side, there's a couple teams that are a little bit used to that undefeated start. Kearney Catholic being one of them, of course. Rick Petrie, the job that he's done so far at Kearney Catholic this season, implementing that defensive system has been really important. This is a Stars team that's allowing 29 points a game. As a result, their closest game of the season has been 17 points. They have simply dominated teams with the pressure that they create with that length. There are not many teams in C1 that can go 5'9", 5'10" on that front line and bring somebody off the bench like a Caitlin Long, and just so many different dimensions to this team. It doesn't even matter. They could have a blowout win and have nobody in double figures. That's a special thing when you have that going. They're going to have a really tough game, I think, when they travel to Hastings St. Cecilia. That's on January 17th. Definitely one that you're going to want to circle on your calendars. Another team that gets to face Hastings St. Cecilia in a couple weeks, that's the Minden Whippets. Of course, Rick Hermosa's squad off to a really good start, 9-0. This is a team that won its own holiday tournament, got nice victories against Seward and Holdridge, and as we talked about in the beginning of the year, it's that dynamic duo. You got Taylor Kissinger, she's averaging 26 points a game. Rebecca Stewart, she's averaging 17 points a game. they usually hold teams under 43 points a game. So that's really not too much of a factor when you talk about playing in close games. They just haven't had to do it very much yet. They've had a 9-point game, a 9-point victory. That's about as close as it's gotten so far for the Whippets. I think that St. Cecilia game could be a good one. They get to host them this year. That game last year was definitely the toughest game of the Whippet schedule in the first part of the year, game that Taylor Kissinger had to come up big and force overtime in that one. If she can do that again, the Whippets could be carrying this thing on just as they did last year throughout the regular season. And then the third team, how about South Loop? South Loop off to a really, really nice start. Get that Maxwell Tournament, Holiday Tournament victory. This is a team with Shayla Dockwire, Rachel Smith, just senior stepping up and doing some really good things for that team. Have played really good defense to the start of the year. And this is a team that, you know what, maybe if they can continue a little bit of momentum like this, they're going to get a really, really solid core going into that tough showdown against Ansley Litchfield. Ansley Litchfield we've talked about before with Lindsay Siegel. Those two teams get to face each other in a couple weeks. There might only be one combined loss between those two teams. If there are, look out. That's definitely one that we're going to be at. For our Sports Hub Call of the Week, we're going to go to a matchup between the Axtell and Kennesaw girls. Axtell coming off of a tough holiday tournament loss. They lost 2 games at home. Not exactly what Kelly Cooksley had in mind. And of course, his squad looking to build all sorts of momentum heading into that FKC tournament next month. And that wasn't exactly the weekend that he was looking for. This is a team that I think is capable of being able to hang with some of the best teams in D1. You talk about the advantage that they have in the post with Hannah Kring and Sophie Mellema, 2 girls that are capable of taking over on that low block. And I think that's the key for the Wildcats, to be able to kind of turn around a little bit of a rough go in the recent weeks here. Just feed the ball into the post. This is a team that can maybe get a little bit rushed in the half court. They want to take those shots early, but if they could just work through two of their best scorers, I think they would have a significant advantage and they would be able to wear teams out. I think they're able to get a bounce back victory. I think this is a game that Kelly Cooksley's squad is able to just kind of get rolling and get back to a little bit of that offensive mojo that they had in the early part of the season. I look for the Wildcats to win this one 47-43. Well, there you have it. It's good to be back in action. Definitely enjoyed the break, but looking forward to getting back to the hoop season. We're going to see who is able to build off of important holiday tournament victories, which one of our 4 teams will be able to stay unbeaten, and how long will they be able to stay unbeaten. So we're going to have all your video coverage, we're going to have stories, we're going to have photos, all that stuff as usual. Make sure you're definitely checking all that out at kearneyhub.com/sports. Make sure you're following all of us on Twitter. Definitely follow that Sports Hub blog. We're going to try and tweet out cool videos and photos. Definitely make sure that you're doing that. So for Conor Garrett, this has been Sports Hub. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.